Just got done at Home Depot. I'm gonna narrate this for you so you can have some idea of like kind of what the process looks like for me, and also to kind of like pat myself on the back a little bit because I think I just did myself a cool little thing, taking care of my needs here. So I just went to Home Depot to switch out something that I had gotten, and because it was ordered online, they were telling me I couldn't return it at the store, that I had to return it as the entire set, even though they're like completely separate things and you can buy them separate and all the things. And they said that I had to return, it's like huge shower walls and a shower pan, and I'm like, I can't even fit the shower walls in my car, and they're so hard, like heavy, and you know, I'm not doing it. Like, you're gonna have to find a workaround because it's like exact same price. The only thing was the person online ordered the wrong location for the drain, so I had to return it for the right drain location, just the shower pad. So it should have been an easy swap, same price, should have been easy, right? But it wasn't, and I was there for like 30 minutes, and I do not have time to sit around for 30 minutes today. I have like back-to-back stuff all day practically, and I'm like, I know because I'm stressed with the work that's happening at my house and the calls that I have today and the meeting that I have to run today that I'm not ready for, like my fuse is a little shorter than normal, and I get that, and I could feel myself just like getting angry. And when I get really, really angry, one of the things that I do is I feel like crying when I get really angry. Like, that's one of the ways that like my anger comes out, because I don't want to yell. I don't feel really okay yelling at somebody because it's not their fault. And I even told her that. I'm like, I'm not trying to be a bitch. I just want it to be like let's just make this an easy thing. Return this. Get that. They're the same price. They're the same brand. They're the same size. Everything's the same. It's just one is a center drain and one is not. So I was getting kind of frustrated, and I know she could sense that, and I apologized to her. But I felt so like powerless and angry and frustrated, and like, this is a stupid, like, why should I have to waste so much time? And she wanted me to call the online people and see if they could do a workaround. I'm like, no, I am not. I am leaving with this shower base. I don't care what you have to do. Please make this happen. Go get your manager. I don't care what it is. And when I got in the car, I literally had to cry. I did, because this is one of the ways that I express my anger. And maybe there's other ways, but like, I'm also not judging myself for however it comes out, as long as I'm not hurting other people, right? Or, you know, causing any damage. And, you know, I got thinking about that, and I think people would judge me. I'd probably have to go into a bathroom. There's no space for like whatever emotions come, and people would judge me for having to cry to express my anger and all that adrenaline and frustration over something like that, right? But as soon as I made space for it, the thought that came to me was 90 seconds. So Jill Bolte Taylor, Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor is a neuroanatomist or something, and she had a stroke, and she has this amazing book. God, what is the name of it? I can't think of it, but it's amazing. And one of the things that she says is it takes 90 seconds for an emotion to like move through you, right? So as long as I resist that emotion, push it away, I'm saying, I don't have space for you. I don't have time for you. You're not important enough for me to pause for 90 seconds or 2 minutes or however long it takes for me to welcome you in, allow you to move through me, and make space for it, and acknowledge the frustration, acknowledge why that frustration was so triggering. And that's the other piece of it that is so powerful for me, is because that feeling of helplessness was the same feeling of helplessness that I felt as a kid when I couldn't stop my dad beating me. That feeling of helplessness was the same feeling of helplessness that I felt as a kid when I was so desperate for love and affection and attention. It didn't matter what I did, I wasn't getting it. That feeling of helplessness it's like it triggers all those feelings throughout whatever time where it was super traumatic for me, you know, for me to be one of 9 kids and the babies are crying and I just have to suck it up and I'm hurt or I'm sad or I'm feeling whatever and there's no space for me and I'm helpless. I'm sitting there like, you know, but especially more than anything, it's the beating. It's I'm not safe. So it triggers that same PTSD type response because the feeling is the same. So I have to acknowledge, and I did. I was able to like see it for what it was and acknowledge and understand why it created such a big feeling and or such a big like reaction, expression, where I had to cry it out for a second. But it made sense to me once I acknowledged it. Of course, I literally was afraid for my life when I was a kid, and I felt helpless. I didn't have the ability to fight my dad off, or to stop the pain, or to stop the beatings. Like I didn't. So it makes sense why helplessness now triggers the same feeling in my body as it did back then. But when I can like make space for it and see it from that, you know, zoomed out, a little bit more like grown up version of me and see it for what it is, it took me less than 4 or 5 minutes. And I was like all the way cool again. And I'm calm, I'm centered. After I acknowledged it and, you know, kind of like comforted that part and just said, I get it, I understand. To that part of me that was really upset, and I let it move through me, the feeling. Then I just regrounded myself. And I just had to breathe and kind of go back into my body and just feel and sense my body and like just, you know, recenter. The whole process maybe took 5 or 6 minutes at the very most. Probably more like 4, to be honest with you. But I've also been practicing it. I'm not great at it, you know, making space for it. Sometimes when I have my kids, I just don't, because they'll be like, what's wrong, mommy? You know, and so I don't make space for it in the moment. And then I carry it with me throughout the day, and it spills over into other things, and I can't focus because I'm fighting this feeling off, and I get, you know, distracted, and I get where I want to numb it out. And then I get far enough removed from it that I can't really put the pieces together as I could just now, because I did it in the moment. And so, yeah, I'm proud of myself. I'm excited that like I was able to do it so quickly and that I had the space for it. I freaking love that. I'm so grateful that I had the space to do that work, you know, in the moment. So anyway, I don't know if this makes sense for anybody, but I'm sharing what my process, at least today, when I have the space for it, what it looked like, so that I don't have to carry the shit with me all day. I can just embrace it, let it move through me, acknowledge it, comfort it, have compassion for it, and then